Alright, good morning. Today is Monday, 29th of April. It's currently 7:40 a.m. Super tired, but today's plan is to start out with a run because it is Monday. What I've been doing is running Monday, Tuesday, and then that was awful. And then gym Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then another run in the weekends, or maybe sometimes even birthdays. This weekend I did birthdays. But we're gonna start off with a run, which means we need to do some warm-ups, and it's Monday, so it's a lot of admin work, a lot of computer work, the boring kind, not the fun kind. Yeah, we better start warming up. I have a pretty simple routine, and it's pretty nice out, so I'm looking forward to it. The shoes I've been running in my daily trainers, the only running shoes I've really been running in are these, the Brooks Ghosts. I mean, they've been serving me really well, but I would like something that's a bit more stylish, and I also want to go get my running test at like a Fleet Feet or something like that, just because I do have some niggles in like my legs and whatnot, and I just want to make sure that I'm running in a shoe that is best for me. And I don't know what a good running shoe is supposed to feel like, because I just bought these at a store just because I'd heard good things about them, so I just bought them. I didn't really test anyone out or anything, but I mean they feel pretty nice, but I just want to make sure that I am in the best possible gear that I can for myself, just so I can, if I can prevent injuries, and just making sure that I have something that supports the way that I run. I just realized I forgot my sunglasses, and it's pretty freaking sunny, so that's great. But at least sun is supposed to be good for you. That was a nice little run, something nice and easy, you know, a little 1 mile, well, a little bit over, but that's the usual morning route. 1.06 total time, 9 minutes 29 seconds. Average pace 8:53, pretty decent. I ran 3 miles yesterday at like 26 minutes, which is not my fastest, but my fastest since getting back from my injury. I had some like hip thing, glute, so nonetheless, good little way to start the morning. Sweaty because it is 15 degrees and extremely sunny, as you can tell, so good way to start. Time to hydrate. Finally, we are at the desk and ready to get the day started. It's currently 9:15, and I'm trying to do a cut anyways to get rid of some of the last bit of fat that I have. It used to be pretty fat, but still a little bit left, but I want to make sure that I don't lose too much progress in the gym / muscle. So I'm just trying my way. I really don't know what exactly I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it, which is what I tend to do, really. Not always the smartest, but typically works out. So for breakfast, what I do is, which is also what you saw me make, I have a coffee, I have a protein shake, 2 scoops of protein, some creatine, and then I'll usually have a banana as well for breakfast, and that's like my go-to, just to keep it nice and simple. And I don't eat anything in the mornings. I feel like if I eat the first thing, I'm gonna be weighing myself down for my run, which is something I'm not a fan of. And then also I'm gonna get hungry earlier. So doing it this way feels just fine. I really don't get too hungry in the mornings anymore, which is good. I mean, I wasn't really when I started either, but anyways, we do have a couple of things on the agenda today. I've got this, and I do want to talk some more about it because for a very long time, I want to say a very long time, I mean like years and years and years and years and years and years and years, I've been trying to find like a productivity organization system that works for me, some way I can plot down like to-do lists and actually do them. I've tried everything, and I mean everything, and I think I finally found a method that works for me, and it's just something I kind of came up with on my own. I have this notebook that is always on my desk, which is just like a moleskin like little dot grid type thing, and I have a whole bunch of things in it. I mean, I have drawings, I have notes, everything. Like I try to write a bunch of stuff down, and I'm about halfway through. But for this past month or so, maybe a little over a month, I've been trying out this organization system, which is super simple, and I think that's why it has worked so well. Essentially, it looks something like this, and what it is essentially I want to keep it as simple as possible, because I found very quickly with to-do lists it can get overwhelming because you put so many things down and you don't cross it off, and then it doesn't work. So with this system that I have now, it's the date at the top, so day and date, and then I do between 3 and 5 points that are my absolute must-dos, things I really want to do the next day, and I write them the night before, so I can be like, as soon as I wake up, I already know what I need to do the next day. So I'm not thinking the first thing in the morning, wasting time. Okay, what is it that I need to do? I plan it the day before. Like today, for example, we have run first thing, and I always put the exercise at the top because I like to do that in the morning. And luckily, being self-employed, I have the freedom to do so, which is great. I love that. One of the greatest parts of doing this is being able to kind of move things around in a way that you kind of want to. But we did the run, so I crossed that off, and I mean, it's just as simple as crossing it off. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular, just and I'm kind of like a, what is the word, stationary fan myself. I love pens, notebooks, everything. So I am using the Precise V5, super nice pens, and then I have to send off some scripts to different sponsors for the main channel videos, and this kind of depends on the companies, but typically they like to see a script a good bit in advance, just so they know kind of what I'm talking about. Sometimes they'll send over talking points, sometimes they won't, just depends on the company. But I do have 2 that I need to send out today to get approved, and then we can start working on those. And so that's all fun. I need to email the guy that is drawing up the plans for our house, just to see the status in that, because it's gave us a time period, it's the end of that, so I just want to make sure that everything is looking pretty good, just see where he's at in the process, because we are dying to look at them, just, you know, makes sense. And then I have the daily challenge, day 29, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we actually get to the daily challenge. But essentially, I like challenges, and I saw this one online. I was like, you know, might as well do it, but it's like a 30-day challenge. But for now, I need to get to writing some emails, sending some emails, doing some admin work, and then that is the main focus of the day. And then of course, we're going to be doing this week in my life type of thing, and hopefully give you like a little bit of a realistic insight into what it's like being self-employed, doing what I do. So I do motion graphics, motion design, stuff like that, and then I also do YouTube as well, trying to balance those things. And then of course, running, gym, married life, building house, yada yada yada. We've got work to do, and it's already 9:20, so I've been yapping for about 5 minutes. That's great. Fam, I'm not gonna lie, y'all boys got some tight hammies. They're feeling just a little bit sore, so I'm gonna whip out the massage gun and try and massage them just a little bit, just so we can feel nice and good for tomorrow's run. I guess it's just a little bit of being overworked, you know, running so many days in a row. I should be better about stretching afterwards, which I'm not, so this is the price to pay. Now that you're old, your body is letting you down, but I'm gonna try and beat this in a little bit. But yeah, I've just been working. Currently in the middle of testing something for a tutorial that we'll be making for the second channel that's been very requested. It's like a inflated balloon text. It should be out whenever this video is out. I just want to make sure I understand the parameters correctly, so that whatever information I tell people, that it's actually accurate and that it makes sense and gives a little bit of context as to why I'm doing certain things. And that's one thing I've always found with tutorials is a lot of the times they're really great because they show you how to do something very specific, but that's also why they kind of suck a lot of the times, because you get taught to do a specific thing in a certain way without any information as to why something works and why something doesn't work and why we do put in these exact numbers. So that's essentially what I'm trying to figure out right now. I just got a message that we have some freelance work to do, which is always great. So this one specific gig that I'm doing right now is a contract work, so it's pretty steady in terms of how like the frequency of it. Usually I don't have too much to do on Mondays, but I guess today we do, so that's great. But it's just a quick couple of little fixes here and there, so that's super simple. It's just going to take time to render because it is a render. I just finished writing a second script for a video that's going to be coming out. It is the one I was just talking about previous. I just finished writing that script. I need to send that off as well. They said they didn't even need to see the script, but I like doing it just so I know for myself that it's going to get approved, so I'm not recording the video and then afterwards they're like, no, we don't really like this. So I like to make sure that everything is good. And it's the same with client work. I like asking as many questions as I can, just because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I make whatever the client is wanting and kind of see where their head is at, so I have a general idea of what it is that I'm going to be doing, because working in the blind is a horrible way to go about it. I don't recommend anyone doing that. Ask a lot of questions, even if you think, oh, it's going to make me look silly. Ask them. Ask. Always ask questions. It's the best tip I can give. Whoever you're working for is going to love you for it, even though they might be like, dude, this guy's got so many questions, but then they see the final result, they're going to be like, okay, now he knows what he's doing. So yeah, ask questions and be engaged, and always don't be afraid of like suggesting things. So whenever someone says, okay, I'm thinking I want this, this, and this, don't be afraid to come in with your expertise, because you are supposed to be the professional on the matter. So just be like, hey, listen, I think this was going to be better, or just be like, so I changed this, this, and this because it didn't look good, yada, yada, yada. So it's finally time for lunch. I love lunch. Lunch is always great. This is not my typical lunch, but there was leftovers, so that's what we're going with. And because there's not enough protein in just the leftovers, I added some frozen chicken as well. You gotta get the protein in when you're trying to cut and everything. I mean, in general, protein is just important. I'm trying to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, so I'm roughly aiming for 150. But we've got 2 wraps with chicken, rice, broccoli, and then some chicken on the side, and hot sauce as well. I've ran out of my usual hot sauce, so this Taco Bell hot sauce will do. I have pretty much the same every day. I like keeping things the same just because it makes it easier. I don't have to think about what to make, what to do. Makes it super easy in decision making. Less brain time thinking. I can just focus on working and all that other stuff. Let me turn that jazz music off. That's what I like working to. You know, just put on a little jazz in the background playlist on Spotify. I just feel like it zones me in. It's the music is so easy to listen to that it's just, you can kind of tune it out, but it kind of keeps you in the zone as well. It's time for the second coffee of the day. I usually drink 2 coffees a day, 1 in the morning, 1.5, 2 hours after I wake up, you know, shout out Huberman Lab. And then a second one around 2, 3 p.m. so it's not too late, so the caffeine can kind of get out of my system so it doesn't affect my sleep. And I like to pair my second one with an Oikos Pro, which is just a nice little protein yogurt. 20 grams of protein, 140 grams of calories. You can get a 15 gram of protein one with 90 calories, but might as well go for the 20, innit? It's not too bad. Snack on this while I finish up work, which should be done pretty soon, and just rendering a 3D render right now, and then I'll be taking it into After Effects and yada yada yada. Still haven't heard anything from the guy that is doing the plans, but he does usually reply at about like 5 to 8 p.m. usually, so it's not unexpected. I am indeed sat on the floor because I'm about to do my daily challenge, that is every day for a month, push-ups and sit-ups or crunches or whatever you feel like doing. I did want to get better at push-ups. I've been decent at sit-ups beforehand, but pretty weak push-ups, so I thought it'd be fun. And the way it goes is, so the first week is like I forget how many it was, but basically it increases the amount every week. And now I'm obviously up the last week because I started the 1st of April. Now it is the 29th, just had to make sure. So we're doing 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and three sets. So 20, 20, little bit of rest, 20, 20, little bit of rest, 20, 20, and call it a day. Why is my cat licking my slippers? That is extremely weird. Once this challenge is over, just because I love challenges so much, I'm gonna do another one in May. I'm planning on doing a bit of a run challenge just to get myself into shape. I want to get better at running. I did a run this weekend, Sunday or Saturday, Sunday I think, 26 minutes, 3 miles. Essentially what I want to do is, before my little bit of injury, I was able to do a sub 25 minute 5k or 3.12 miles or whatever it is. So I want to get back to that. I've been a bit slow and I've been holding back a little bit of the running just because it was my legs, glutes type thing that was hurting. So figured ease off on that a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty good now. It's been a while since I've had some injury or pain where I normally would have. So that's kind of the thing. So I want to see how can I get back to it within 30 days of running every day, and then I'll be at least 1 mile every day, and then some days will obviously be more, and I'll try to do a little bit more varied workouts in terms of doing different speeds and all that stuff, because usually I would just go run a mile about as quick as I could, or I would allow myself to. But yeah, so that'll be exciting. But for now, we got push-ups and sit-ups to do. You're in the way better. I've been unusually busy, however I plan to be starting a new plan.
He hasn't even started?
Oh. I should have first draft ready by the end of the week. Bruh, hasn't even started? That's crazy. It's kind of ass.
But we've been waiting forever.
For a month. So it is currently 9:34 in the morning, AM for all my American peeps, just 9:34 for everyone else, like myself. Started off the morning with a nice little easy run. I really was debating not running at all, but just because I was feeling, my legs were feeling pretty tight. As I said yesterday, my hamstrings just a bit iffy, but I figured, you know what, we'll just take it nice and easy, go slow, good practice in taking it slow, because I know that's important as well. Nice weather, it was like 17 degrees out, but mainly I was just focused on keeping my heart rate pretty low. I think I ended at like 11-minute mile, something like that, 10 minutes something. I do have a meeting here in about an hour with some of the people that I work with to see what we're doing this week, yada yada yada, stuff like that. Super boring. Also got some replies to emails about the sponsors videos for the main channel, so I'll have to reply to that, see what they say in terms of the feedback and all that sort of stuff. I don't really like emails. I don't like all the back and forth of the writing and all that stuff. I just want to make videos. That's what I like doing, and that's what I want to be doing. But let's have a look at the to-do list for today, because as I said yesterday, that is what dictates my day, at least my main pillars that I want to get through each day. We have run, which I can cross off, which is nice. Get that crossed off. Good way to start the day by crossing something off. Then we have the meeting, which is going to be here in an hour. I'm just going to drink my coffee with my little protein shake with some creatine in it, some water. I'm going to be talking to my parents today. If you watched the first video on the channel, you know that I moved from Denmark to America. And so now I live in America, they live in Denmark. I used to go see him back when I still lived in Denmark. I used to go see him like every weekend. We'd go eat. Now I try to at least call him once a week. Then we'll do a little FaceTime. Shout out to technology. I mean, they're both from 2 different countries. So when they first started dating and stuff like that, they met each other in one country, and then, you know, they had to send letters to one another. Thinking about the time you have to wait, you have to write it, you have to mail it. Right now it's instant. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love it. I'm so blessed to be living in this time and being able to do something like that, because it still means that I can be a part of their lives. They can be a part of my life still. Later today, I'll have to prep for lunch, just making, you know, lunch for my wife and I. And then we have the daily challenge, last day of the challenge. And I think I want to keep doing it in a way that still lets me progress every week, so eventually I can get to 100 push-ups in one go. We'll see where the day takes us. That's the nice thing about working for yourself. I'm about to get in a meeting here in 5 minutes, and I know that my oldest cat, Big Fatty, that's sitting over there, if I just go in a meeting, he will probably be scratching my legs, jumping on my chair, basically just disturb. So since it's such nice weather, and even though they are indoor cats, I'm gonna open the window for him because they love it, and that will hopefully keep him distracted while I'm in my meeting, so I can focus on my meeting and not him. And as soon as I open the window, he should probably jump up as well as the other one. So I guess we'll see if I'm wrong or not. I really hope that this is not one of the times where you say something and then your cat's embarrass you, because usually I'll say something, oh, they do this, and then they don't do it when I'm trying to show it off. That's one. Second one is coming. He's slow, he was sleeping. 2 cats. Mission accomplished. Well. Mission failed. Opened the windows, and he still decided to come and bother me during my meeting, so that's great. Going behind the monitor, messing with the cables of the computer, patting my softbox like a maniac. So, you know, gotta love that. It's just so nice how cats decide to work. They just don't want the best for you, and somehow I still love them. Anyways, meeting was pretty good, pretty quick, just a little super quick, super efficient. Not one of those meetings where you're like, dude, why am I even here? What I'm gonna be working on at least today is a little intro stinger type thing, so that'll be good fun. I love doing those. I better get to work, and you better keep watching this video and subscribe and like and comment. I threw it in there. I'm shameless. I just wanted to do a quick update. I've been doing a little bit of work on this stinger that I was talking about, and I just think this color palette is so sexy. So let me show you real quick. So we've got this little screen here. So this is just kind of like, let me see. Hopefully in the grade it looks good, but we've got like this green and like this cream, and then go forward a little bit, and then we've got this super sick. I mean, look at that. You can't tell me that doesn't look so clean. Like, that looks elegant. Anyways, I gotta get back to work and finish this up, because this is getting me excited, and then it's lunchtime. So I finished up the piece pretty well. I just need to render it out, and then I also need to sound design it a little bit just to add that extra spice. You know, that's how I like to roll. I like to flavor things up and just, you know, do one step extra. But it's time for lunch, and lunch is pretty simple for me, as I said yesterday as well. I'm trying to do like sort of a cut type of thing. So lunch for me consists of 1 portion of rice. This is basmati rice, and then I have ground chicken. Now I made this yesterday, pre-made it. I didn't film it. I still managed to spill a good bit of it, so that's great. And then my cat came and thought he was about to eat everything off the floor, which no. Roughly 150 grams of rice, and then roughly, well, usually 170 grams of chicken, so about half a pack, which is roughly 50-ish grams of protein. That's pretty much a lunch. Preferred hot sauce, Cholula hot sauce, that is the flavor. Now I'm about to talk to my parents, which is always a fun time. It's important to do. Speak to your family while you can. Just got a couple snacks, just so we can get real cozy up in here. Got a cat behind me looking at me like a freak. Look at that guy. He's big vibing. Call your parents. Hello? I pulled that thing out of the box and it made that sound.
Did it scare the cats? Because I'm still scared. I just love him.
We just made it to the gym, and today is Wednesday, which means it is a push day, triceps and chest, and a little bit of core. I like doing a little bit of core just because I do have a goal that hopefully by the end of summer, I will have a six-pack. That is the goal anyway. That's what we're working towards. That's why we're doing the cut as well. And then since today is May 1st, which means new month, aka new daily challenge like I was speaking about yesterday, is I want to try and run every single day. So once we finished up in the gym, I'm gonna head back home, change my shoes into my running shoes, just because we don't want to be running in Air Force Ones. That's not a good idea. And go for a mile run and get that sorted. And I do like doing this all in hand. It just feels better when you write stuff down in hand. And we have officially made it back home, which means it is just about time to run. We gotta run a little bit, but that also means we gotta warm up a little bit. So, about to do that real quick. Just like that, we finished a little 1 mile run. So we went gym, and then the first day of the May challenge where I'm going to be running every single day. So that's good. Super nice run today. Actually, it was like a easy 1 mile, but I ran at like, let's see, 8:48 average pace, which is pretty good for me. I'm usually, well, I used to be like a 9 something for pretty decent, but I feel like super good. Heart rate looked all right. Average heart rate 161, which is super good for me at that pace. It's 21 degrees outside, so it is hot and I'm sweating. Alright, so we are in the office and it's finally time to get my day going. Pretty late. I have a couple things on my to-do list that we need to do. We have gym, already crossed off. Daily challenge 2.0, crossed off. I need to record a YouTube video today, so that's going to differ from the 2 previous days. It's just going to be for the main channel, like a little tutorial on some 3D effects. I also need to make an appointment for a barber, because we are looking dusty and I like to look crispy for sponsored videos. Because I feel like if they're putting in the effort in me, then I should put in the effort in me as well. I need to upload something to the Patreon, which is also main channel related in terms of like, I do like a monthly live stream, so I need to make a post for that where people can upload the stuff if they want to. And then we also need to make some food today. So that's another big one, but it's not on the to-do list because I've got to do it no matter what. We've got a push-up board yesterday, so I'm going to be using that. see how that feels. So I am in the middle of making a YouTube video, the one I was talking about earlier, where I'm doing a blender animation, and I figured I'd just give a little BTS into what goes into making this. This is the setup we've got going on. We've got the monitor, which is what I'm working on, and then on Notion, and a cat that's being very loud and obnoxious, but really, anyways. I've got the iPad with Notion on it, where I usually have my script, just a couple notes and whatnot, and it's super nice, so I just know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to think too much. And then also, like in this case where I have a sponsored segment, so I know what I need to say and all that stuff. Fine, you can have a pad. Then we have a microphone here, which just records audio, so I can sync up the video recording with the face cam, and then also the lav mic. That's what I use to record my audio. And I used to record audio there and there as well, so I can sync all three up pretty easily. I'm just recording this with the main cam, the FX3, with just a little mic and just a nice little setup on the tripod. And then we have a big old light that then lights my face. But that is pretty much the setup for how to record a YouTube video. So it's pretty simple, just takes a long time. And right now we are baking this animation, and it's being very, very slow. So today is a leg day, probably top 3 days you can have. I mean, they're all only 3 days, but top 2, let's put it like that. We got triceps, number 1, legs, number 2, and then biceps and backs at the very bottom. But with that being said, I better head in and get started, because it is 8:54, just about to be 8:55. We are back from the gym. It is 10:12. Good little leg session. My legs feel like Epsom gel, which also means I'm not going to do any warm-ups. I'm just going to go straight into the running. The leg extensions and hamstring curls thing at the end absolutely finished me. That was tough. 12 by 105, so we did make our progression, which is always good. It's tough, but it feels great. I love the pain. About to hit a mile yesterday was probably the best feeling run I've had in forever, so today's going to be tough to beat, especially after a leg day where I'm extra beaten to a pulp. Hot damn. Day 2 of the 30-day running challenge. Well, I think May has 31 days, so 31-day challenge. 30-day just rolls off a little bit easier, but it is the whole month of May that we are running every single day. Day 2 complete. Legs felt super heavy. As I mentioned, I was like 2 minutes in and I was like, dude, my calves strained, quads, hamstrings, everything felt heavy. I felt like I was stomping through the ground. If you retrack my steps, you'll probably see holes in the pavement. That was me. Not because I'm that fat, but just but just because that's how heavy I felt like I was stomping them. We did a nice little 1 mile. It's super hot. It's like 25 degrees Celsius, which is warm. It's humid. It's gonna storm later today, so you feel the pressure. So distance in total 107 miles, and we did average pace of 9:12 minute miles. Average heart rate 159. Pretty good, actually. Very, very nice. I'm in a place where I'm kind of focused on pace, but also kind of on heart rate. It kind of depends. So for this particular one, I'm very happy with it. I feel like yesterday's run was definitely better. I mean, we ran faster with a barely higher heart rate. Alright, boom, we're at the gym. Familiar surroundings. I pulled up to the gym. No one was there by the time I set up the camera. So someone was there, so that's your fault. It's Friday, which means it's back and biceps day. My least favorite out of them all, especially because we have public enemy #1 pull-ups. I suck at it, so that's no fun. There's nothing better than starting off your weekend with a nice workout, feeling great, setting yourself up for success in a weekend, and then using the weekend to set yourself up for success in the next weekend. The next week, not weekend. It is 10:45, late start to the day. Just finished up the gym, good little sesh. Now we're about to do the daily challenge 2.0, which is run every day for the day for all of May. Gonna keep it somewhat easy. I feel pretty warm already just from being in the gym and doing the rowing and all that stuff. So I already got my butt, there's a squirrel. Yeah, so we're just gonna go on that run real quick and then it's back to work. I don't have too much to do today, just laundry, this, and finishing editing the video. I finished up the rough cut yesterday, so it's just adding a little bit of animations, all that nice little extra stuff. Enjoying the beautiful weather. It's 18 degrees, slight breeze, sunny. Can't ask for much more in May. So we are currently at the local park, which you might recognize from the channel intro, which is also where I filmed that. But today is May 5th, which means it's the 5th day of the running challenge. Although I don't have any footage from yesterday, I did go on a run. As you might have been able to tell, we were up yesterday doing stuff all day, so I just quickly, when we got home, went for a quick run. Didn't bring my phone with me, which is why I don't have any clips, but I did go for a run. It was a super slow one, like 10 minute 30 second mile pace type thing. I had a bit of a niggle in my right glute, which has been prone to having a bit of pain before, so I was just taking it super slow, just taking it easy. And I mean, I was feeling pretty heavy from eating all day and all that stuff, so just taking it pretty easy, trying our best to get it in. But anyways, today is pretty chilly, so I'm not gonna be doing too much recording because it's too cold to stop and record and stop and record. I'm aiming for a smooth 3 miles, hopefully. We'll see how I'm feeling. I felt pretty good waking up this morning, but we'll see once we get running and once we get warmed up a little bit. But the goal would be 3 miles and just fairly easy pace. I'm not too worried about the time of it or anything. I just want it to feel pretty smooth. Time to get to work, innit?